here right now. I have things to say. The lighting might not be great because of the time of day. However, that will not stop me from speaking what I need to speak, even though there are people around me and I have to be a bit quiet to respect them and allow them to sleep because they have things to do in the morning, and I'm an insomniac and I can't sleep. It seems at night that I struggle to sleep. And if you're a person who struggles to sleep just like me, then I'm here to let you know why that is probably happening, especially if you are in your older years, because what you see amongst most people in their older years is that they are schedule oriented and they will have a set time to sleep, similar to what they used to do when they were in school. It's just they sleep much later. Maybe instead of sleeping at 8 o'clock, that's the time that I used to sleep as a child. Now they're sleeping at like 11, 12 o'clock. And then they wake up in the morning and they do what they need to do. However, because we are insomniacs, at the times when they're sleeping, those are the times that we are awake. And those are the times that you need to use to further your progress. Because the reason why all of these things are happening to you is to give you more time in your life to achieve your goals and your purpose. Most likely, if you find yourself as an insomniac, you are a purpose driven person because your mind is always at work. You're always thinking, thoughts never rest. And it's actually quite a phenomenon to realize that the actual people, in fact, the majority of people, do not have an internal voice in their head, meaning they do not just generate thoughts. They have to see something. They have to see something within the 3D world, and then that's when they start to think about it. If it is not there, they will not think about it because it will not cross their mind. Thoughts do not just pop up in their head. Their mind is not constantly chattering. Their mind chatters when they see things that they need to deal with, as opposed to the insomniac whose mind is constantly chattering 24/7 non-stop up until you go to sleep. And even in your sleep state, you start to dream. And if you're lucky, you wake up and you remember your dreams. However, as I said, the reason why this is happening to you is because you are being given more time to chase your goals and achieve your purpose, given more time to gain knowledge, given more time to meditate, to rest, to reflect, to think, to use your brain. And therefore, you're given more hours throughout the day. And you're probably a high energy person, meaning that it's hard for you to literally just sit around and watch a movie, watch a TV series, play PlayStation for a very long time. All of these things that seem to be the day-to-day living of most people, you find them difficult because your mind is always resting. So it's literally like you'll start playing PlayStation, you'll get halfway through the game, you'll just pause it, and you go start something else. You go start a movie. You watch the movie, you watch 20 minutes, you go start cooking. You start cooking, you finish cooking, you go take a shower. You go take a shower, on to the next, on to the next. And every task that you're leaving behind, you're leaving it half or 3/4 done. And maybe later on, you'll go back to complete the task. However, because your mind is always on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, you'll find yourself completing tasks to a point where you probably are satisfied, even though it's not 100% complete, but you know that you've ultimately done what you needed to do. And then you move on to the next thing. And this is a clear sign of a high energy insomniac, which you probably are. Because, mate, you just need to sit down and observe people, and you see, bro, there are people who literally they can sleep in any position at any time of the day, like literally just sit it on the couch. For me, I have to get under the covers and get under the blanket for me to fall asleep. And this is extremely hard, but even when it's extremely hard, I still have to do the step-by-step process to say that I'm getting into bed, to let my mind that I know that I'm getting into bed, to put on the clothes that I need to go to bed and get under the covers, even if it's hot, get under the covers, and then spend probably 30 minutes to an hour trying to fall asleep almost every single night, no matter how much I do throughout my day. It's only on rare occasions where I will be so tired that I'll hit the pillow immediately, fall asleep, or if I've been drinking. Otherwise, that does not happen. However, you'll see the other people who can do that. If you've stayed with other people and you notice their habits, they're people who literally, like, as soon as they get on their bed, 2 minutes later, and you're like, what? Or they're sitting on the couch and then they just lay their head back. And like that, they sleep. But for me, and probably for a person like you, that is not the case. Your mind doesn't just shut off like that. And I've now let you know why. Because of high functioning and high energy output from your brain because of your thoughts. And now that you realize that, you might actually really be different from a majority of the people, because as I said, something that came as a surprise to me to realize that a lot of people do not think. They only think when things happen. They don't prepare, they don't plan, because it does not go through their head. It doesn't go through their mind. That's not how they are wired. They are wired to deal with what is immediately in front of them. And because of that, they may not see things that you see, because your mind is always generating thoughts. Your mind is always creating new thoughts or downloading new thoughts, things that have nothing to do with the task that you're doing. And this is why you'll probably find yourself daydreaming a lot, just staring out into space, and you're in a room with people, but clearly your mind is not there. You're visualizing something else, and the visualization is so deep that your five senses are not even connected to your environment anymore. Everything is happening internally. Up until someone just calls your name and they're like, what are you looking at? Or you just snap out of it. You just come out of it. However, those are the type of things that you probably go through, and people look at you like, what is this man's on? Because he's just fucking staring into space. He's been staying there for the last 2 minutes. His mind hasn't moved, he's not blinking. And they can see that, like, you're not noticing them. Like, you're not noticing them at all. And it's very, very shocking for them, because they're probably not used to it, because they're not like that. They're not built like you, and you're not built like them. Even though you're all human beings, you've been given different characteristics on the outside and different characteristics on the inside. And each and every single one of you has your function to the betterment or the destruction of civilization. So, my friend, this you must know. This you must know, so that you do not fall into a loop of trying to drug yourself to sleep, or trying to release yourself to sleep. Trying to find ways that are not natural for you to fall asleep. Taking pills to fall asleep, taking sleeping pills, all of these things. No, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're doing a disservice to your creator, because they are literally giving you more hours throughout your day by increasing your energy output, and by giving you thoughts that generate randomly. You could literally be washing the dishes and thinking about what you were doing on the football pitch. You could literally be seated in a lecture and you're thinking about what you did on the basketball court. You could be in an operation and you're literally visualizing how you're gonna bring your business from the ground up. And that is the blessing that you have, that your mind can see things that are not there.